Hey everyone, Sheila here from Life with Pets. So today's video is going to be a really quick one, and it's going to be very unedited as well because I don't think I'm going to get time to do that. We are just in the process of doing large water changes on all our tanks, and that is due to the fact that we have just been issued a evacuation notice, and it says that it starts at 6 AM tomorrow. So I am just trying to get all the tanks done. I'm going to do really large water changes on them all. I'm also going to set up the battery operated air pumps as well, so that if power should go out, then they will still have continued water movement. I do think that those battery powered pumps will probably go for several days, but obviously I've not tested that. When I did run the tests, I think I ran them for 10 hours, and at that point there was still no slowing down. So other people said that they have used them and they were good for several days, so I am hoping that that is the case. So right now I'm just emptying the 75 gallon, and so that's why I thought that while the tanks are emptying I would do a video. I'm also just doing Forgive the Glare, the goldfish one. I'm going to take that down to about 80% so that that one has had a really big water change. This one here I'm going to do down to about 60%. I usually do about 40 to 50% on this, so hopefully going down just that extra few percent will make a difference. I've also done all the other tanks as well, and I have taken those between 50 and 60%. I do think that probably we won't be able to come back to the house until Monday. No, actually no, the storm comes in Monday, so it will be Tuesday at the earliest. I think that we would be able to come back. The evacuation order that we've received is more a cautionary one than the storm is going to be right on top of us or over us. However, we do think it is probably wise that we do leave, so we're doing the best that we can for the fish. The fish were very well fed yesterday because we knew that there was a possibility of this, so we're not actually going to feed today. Fish can actually go for at least a week, up to several weeks without food, and as ours are extremely well fed, then it certainly won't do them any harm to go a week or two without food if that's what's needed. So we're not going to feed them from here on out, just simply because the more you feed them, the more waste is going into the water, and we have been told that we are very likely to lose power, and so obviously the filters won't be running and all that sort of stuff. So it is very difficult to prepare for something like this because obviously we can't take them with us. That is just not an option. We have way too many fish, and so we can only do the best for them that is possible. So right now, instead of running around doing other stuff, I am actually doing the fish tanks because I want to make sure that they're well taken care of. Our dogs we're very fortunate in that our dogs can go with us, and so we will be taking the 3 of them with us, so they will be safe with us. However, the fish, unfortunately, we're going to just do what we can and just hope that they're okay when we get back. Like I say, the order that we've been given, the evacuation order that we've been given, is a precautionary one. They're just expecting very high winds where we are, and not a great amount of rain. This storm, they're saying, is not going to produce massive amounts of rain. So I think from a rain standpoint we're going to be okay. It's more the winds that could possibly do a great deal of damage. So like I say, this tank, I don't know why it's not emptying. I'm assuming we've maybe got a blockage on it. I'm just going to see if I can do the see what's going on here. Oh, I think I've got a kink in that. That might be it, because by now it should be well emptied much further than that. And this one is almost empty, so I'm going to start filling this one back up in a few minutes. I am also going to double dose with Prime when I do the change, because very often if there are storms coming, then the water authorities will very often add extra chemicals in or do like double doses themselves. So that is something that you need to be aware of. If a storm is imminent and the companies know that, then very often extra chemicals get added, and obviously that's why sometimes your tap water absolutely stinks of chlorine. And so I am going to double dose with Prime just to account for that as well. So I'm just going to go and set up to start filling the goldfish tank back up, because that one has been emptied down to about 80%, and I'll be right back. When I do come back, I do have some sad news that I want to share with you, so I'll be right back. Okay, I am back and I've got the water filling up the goldfish tank now. I did take this one down pretty low because these are the ones out of all of them that I'm really worried about. They don't do well with no water movement, and obviously the ammonia in this tank can get pretty high very quickly. So these are the ones I am very worried about. So something I want to share with you guys is something that happened this week in this tank, our 75 gallon. Last evening we noticed that 3 of the betta fish were behaving very oddly, and when I took a closer look I noticed that one of them had actually died, and that was Joy, and that the other 2 were swimming extremely erratically. The eyes had fogged over on one of them and she was basically almost dead. So we did lose her just a few minutes later. It happened so quickly, and the thing is, literally an hour before I had fed the fish and I got some amazing footage of one of them eating, and I actually posted it on Instagram. She looked absolutely amazing, and I just cannot believe how she went from that to dead in about an hour. So I am totally baffled by what has happened. The third one, we managed to get her out of the tank. She was breathing very heavily, swimming very erratically. I put her in clean treated water. We added aquarium salt, I put almond leaves in, but sadly within, I would say probably maybe 15-20 minutes, she was dead also. So I have no idea what happened. All the other fish in the tank are perfectly fine, as you can see. The red line torpedo barbs, which are the Denison barbs with the red line stripe, they are an extremely sensitive fish, and I'm just so surprised that there's no other sick fish in the tank. The Harlequin rasboras are fine, the pleco is fine. In fact, I've actually just seen him. We very rarely see him, but I have just seen him, and the cories are fine. And so I have just got no idea why whatever it was targeted just the betta fish. Thankfully the other 2 were fine. Minnie was already out of the tank, and our other one is fine. She is in another tank also, and so we have managed that 2 of the females are okay, but unfortunately the other 3 have gone. And the sad thing was the 2 of those others were the oldest ones that we had. They were about 2.5 years old, and they were doing extremely well. They were extremely healthy, and so we just don't know what's happened. So we're very sad about that. I did do a lot of reading last night, and I've done some more reading today. I also reached out to Amber at Big City Bettas. If you don't know who she is, go check out her channel. She is just so knowledgeable, and I'm just so thankful for her help. I was telling her what had gone on, and so she was asking me a lot of different questions, and we are both totally baffled because by everything I read, it said that it was a toxic issue with the water. However, we hadn't done any water changes in the last 5 days, which is perfectly fine because we usually do them once a week, and we haven't added anything to the tank. All the fish were fed the same food that day, so, and all the other fish are perfectly fine, including all the betta fish. There's absolutely nothing that we can put our finger on and say that is what it is. I checked all the water parameters, they were all absolutely spot on. In fact, they were all basically where they normally are, and so that didn't flag anything either. So I'm totally baffled. I'm extremely upset by it because it's the first time we've had anything like that happen, and to lose 3 at once is, you know, to lose 1 is bad enough, but to lose 3 at once and not be able to help them, that was just awful. So very sad about that. I don't think at this point that we're going to continue with this tank as a sorority, but don't hold me to that. We may change our minds on that. But so before I go, guys, I just want to say that we are going to have to close our store, our online store down, and I am going to be shipping out the orders that we've already got in. I'm going to ship them out tomorrow. I will be closing it tonight, which is Thursday, so by the time you see this it will be already closed. If you're wanting anything from us, hopefully we will be open again next Tuesday, but obviously that all depends on what goes on with the storm and how affected we are. Okay guys, for those of you that are maybe in the path of Irma, please stay safe. Please do what the officials tell you to do. If you're told to evacuate, make sure that you follow those orders, especially if you are on the water, as this storm really is going to be a nasty one, and your life can't be replaced. Your stuff can be, but your life can't be. So please stay safe, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get another video up, so just bear with us on that, and when we're up and running again, we'll see you next time.